Good night. Let's wait and see if anybody will join us. Let's turn this up. Alright, looks like everybody not joining us tonight. So we just have to probably just sit down and talk. I hope that somebody come and join us. Good night, good night. Yeah, here you go. People joining us. That's cute. So, good night. Just wait until some other people join us. Share the live. In the meantime, please let us share and bring some other people on if we can. All right. Let's get this a little closer. There we go. Good night, good night. Say good night now, whoever was on. Let us wait a bit. As you join, please share it. Share to a delegate you might know. 2 delegates you might know. PMP people you might know, even if they are not delegates. Princess, glad to have you, Michelle. Share the live. Share the live, Princess. Let's get the delegates on. I want to talk to them. I want to wish them Happy New Year first, and then we want to talk to them. So, yeah, share the live, Michelle. Thank you. Princess, go share the live to the delegates. Princess, go share the live to the delegates of East Central St. Andrew, please. It's very, very important that you share the live to the delegates of your own constituency. Good night, Yvonne. How are you? Good evening, Michelle. Good evening, Sonny. My loves. Michelle, Sonny, Princess. Anthony. What's up, my darling? I'm here. How are you? Yeah, man, I'm going to shout out Bunting and Marky G. Shout out Murcott and Marky G and send them the live. Please send the live to the MPs and the councillors. Send the live. Sonny, are you in charge of sending the live to OLO, you know? So I hope you have that pancake to send the live on to OLO. Sonny, you have that sort out? Good night, Annette. You miss me, man? I miss you too, darling. I do. I'm drinking some wine. I am doing well, Anthony. I'm glad you are doing well as well. There isn't such English. Share the live, and share the live to the delegates. I'll bring them on. Let's see if we can have a conversation with a couple of them. They're probably busy, but link them up now. I want to share the live to Marky G and Murcott. Dayton. Share the live. It's a serious matter. We're going to address some serious matters tonight, but we also like to address serious matters and have some fun at the same time, since yours truly don't really take anything serious. But it's gonna be a good night. Hey Ruthie, Happy New Year, darling. Somebody tag Fiona Falloon for me now, please. Let's get the birthday girl on now. Fiona. Can you tag her, please? I know she's somewhere drinking all kinds of things, but I'm sure. Oh, you sort out the oil thing, Sonny. All right, just want to check. Just check it if taking your responsibilities serious. Newell Socialist, good to see you, my brother. Share the live, please. Share the live to any delegate you know, any group chairman, any secretary, any councillor, constituency caretakers. Share the live. We want to talk to them. Today's Sandra Faulkner birthday too as well. Ruth, I don't get that. Big up yourself, Ramon. Good night, Cheryl. Hey, my main man, Richard McFarlane, Chief Executive Officer. How are you, sir? Can somebody get Fiona Falone on the live for me, please? Today is her birthday. I know she itch up somewhere under Holy Power Waters, but I want her to show her face. Are you in charge of OLO tonight, you know, Sonny? Whatever it takes, whatever you need to do, don't hold back. Are you in charge of them? Oh, God. Good night, comrades. Well, we have a little person on. Share the live. We want to make sure as much delegates as possible get on before we get going. All right. I think that's good. My memory not doing so good these days, so I write stuff down so that I don't forget things. I don't want to forget things. So first and foremost, let me wish a happy new year to all of you who have joined us for the live. All the people who joined the lives last year and made the lives successful. I want to wish you all a very, very happy new year, prosperous new year. We want to wish you all the best that life has to offer. We want to wish that God will continue to bless you and keep you in ways that only He can. And I certainly wish for you all the things that you don't even wish for yourself, but you secretly wish, but you don't wish for them. But I wish you all of those things as well. For all the people that had birthdays in January, let me wish you all a very happy belated birthday. I trust you all had a good time. I once told somebody that nobody's hungry on Christmas Day in Jamaica. And that's a fact. Nobody's hungry on Christmas Day. Everybody eats on Christmas Day. So I want to thank all the comrades, resistance people and friends that came by for Christmas and made Christmas memorable here at 50 Wilmot. It was quite a thing. And New Year's. It was quite a festivities. We enjoyed so much hosting you, my family and I. We truly enjoyed hosting you all. I'm going to drink off the whole of the sorrel. I stopped talking about that. And we appreciate you being here at Christmas with us to share, to eat and to drink and to pray and to talk and to just rap and be there. And it was great. It's one of the best Christmas since COVID that we have had, and we truly enjoy having you here. Feel free to come again anytime you want. So thank you for making Christmas memorable. I want to thank all the people who also celebrated my birthday with me. I have not been at home on my birthday for many, many moons. I am always not here on the day of the birthday. But it was great to stay home this particular birthday. And I had a dog for 16 years. Her name was Cleopatra. Cleo. And she got sick about 2 years ago. The doctor diagnosed that she had a heart condition and that she had just, a short period of time left to be with us. And she was on medication. And then one day in October, she went missing. Somebody came in here and took out my dog and found out who it was later that took my dog and killed my dog. She was ill, so she wouldn't have lasted very long. But they took her and that bugger killed her. And I know that the wrath of God is going to reach him soon. Well, God is slow, but I'm sure he's going to feel my wrath at some point. But that was sad. The happy part of that is that on my birthday, the January 18th, that day, I was hanging out here with some friends, eating and drinking. Friends stopped by. The yard was busy. People going and coming. I was enjoying ourselves on the day of the birthday. No big nothing, just jamming. And just as I sat there wondering, where my daughter gone with my car from God knows when. The car gone for about 3 hours. I was sitting there, I said, so where them is? She and my grandson, they left. And then a little bit afterwards, they turned up. And they turned up with a dog. A brand new, wonderful Shih Tzu Pomeranian named Eli. KK named him Eli. So I have a new dog. I got my new dog for my birthday. I'm going to share that dog video with you tomorrow so you can see how joyful it was. When he came, his name is Eli. And kind of training him how to behave at 50 Wilmot. It's going to take him a little while to get the lay of the land and to learn the road code. I don't really know that yet. But that was a wonderful birthday gift. Many people know that I like Christmas cards. I like postcards in general. So if somebody looking for a gift to give me, just buy me a postcard. And I love postcards. I have a whole collection of postcards. I never throw them out. Never ever throw them out. I switch them around. So those that I got for Christmas, I move them out of the way in the places where I put them, and I put the ones that I got for my birthday. So I want to thank all the people that took the time out to send me a birthday card. Thank you so very much. You have no idea how much that means to me. People don't mail things anymore. And it was wonderful to watch the postman come by daily and just drop off postcards, or some bike man just ride up and drop off postcards that people sent me. It was heartwarming and nice. And I thank you very, 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 very much. The people all over the world that sent me postcards. But I want to mostly thank you for remembering that I like postcards. So that is the thing. It's not even the postcard. It says how much you actually remember that I like postcards. And you know that you send me a nice postcard. I got a nice postcard from Antarctica. Boy, I don't know, but I got a nice postcard from Antarctica. Still don't know who sent it, but I have a nice postcard. And I got very, very nice postcards from the States and from Canada. I got a weird, strange one from somebody in England. It's a weird postcard, but I like it. Love all postcards. The thing about a postcard in comparison to a gift is that when I go into the pharmacy to choose a postcard, it takes me forever. I mean, you're looking for a nice postcard, a postcard that would say the words that you want to say to the person, a postcard that would express the sentiments that you want to express to the person you're sending the postcards to. You want it to actually be perfect. And so you spend a good amount of time going through postcards to make sure you have the right one. And that's what, and that's why I know that receiving a postcard from somebody is truly a cherished feeling, because you must have taken some time to pick out that postcards. And so I appreciate it very much. I appreciate the postcards very, very much. Thank you all. God bless you for the postcards. All right? And the people who joined me for the Christmas, for the birthday excitement, thank you very much also for being here. That was a fun night. Some of the pictures we can't show, but that was a fun night. So that's it. So all the people who born January, I want to wish you a happy birthday, happy belated birthday. God bless you. All the people that born February up to today, happy birthday. But I know two people celebrating birthday today. One is Fiona on the live as yet? Anybody find Fiona on the live? Is she on the live? Anybody find her? I don't see Fiona Falloon. Can somebody find Fiona Falloon for me and tell her we're looking for her? Although she probably is somewhere drinking. But today is Fiona Falloon's birthday. And when you know that when you come in on this live, you must have something to drink. I hope everybody have something to drink. So let us raise our glass and wish Fiona, Fifi, a happy birthday. All right? Today is also the birthday of Charles Dickens. Yes, today I knew that because I got a notification from the Dickens fan club to remember that he was born 200 and was it 21 years, 1812, over 200 years ago. Dickens was born, and Dickens is still one of the greatest writers there ever walked this earth. Every time I think Dickens, two things come to mind: The Christmas Carol, that great story that has been made over and over again into film, wonderful story. But my favorite Dickens have always been Great Expectations. I just love that little fellow Pip. And Great Expectations is just a book that you should just read over and over again. Every time you finish, just read again. So today is Mr. Dickens' birthday, and we wish him happy birthday as well. So happy birthday to everybody that born today, and everybody who would have a birthday for February, just in case we don't do no more lives for February. So, we have a number of things that we want to discuss tonight. I want to make it as quickly as possible. We don't see Karen. I don't see Fiona. Can somebody tell me if Fiona is anywhere? Thank you very much for the belated birthday greetings. Thank you all very much. We can't find Fiona. As I said, I write down things because I don't want to leave anything out tonight. But let's look first at the news that greeted us this morning. Last night I believe, when we heard that comedy man Duncan has resigned as no, she has not resigned. No, let's not get that wrong. She has not resigned. I think she's still the constituency chairman, but she is walking away from representational politics. She will not seek election in the next election for Central Kingston, and she seems all right with it. I called Imani this morning to chit chat a bit, nothing specific. We don't really chit chat about it, but we chit chat a bit about what she's going to do and the importance of the work that she's going to take up now, and how passionate she is about that. I met Imani many moons ago for the first time when Omar Davis was running for leader of the party, and young Imani came in as campaign manager, and she tried to manage me. She put on a valiant effort, but it never worked out. But it was a valiant effort. She was trying to manage and control, but that's not. But I found Imani to be pretty much the female version of her father. She's passionate about work, passionate about representation, passionate about people in general. Whenever you see Imani with people, she look giddy and mad. They don't kind of have a little touch of madness. We all know that. In Imani, it's sweet. The rest of them, not so much. But in Imani, the madness kind of sweet because it is coupled with her compassion and her empathy for people. And she has done a wonderful job down there in Central Kingston. Nobody pushed her out. She confirmed that, which is basically the reason why I was calling chit chat. Nobody pushed her out. Nobody was giving her any jazz. Imani was just she couldn't balance the two things at the same time because she wanted to go do this thing, which will have a bigger and better impact on poor people. And I think that will be much better. Her time will be much better spent doing that than wasting her time trying to build a constituency while people there still undermining you and backbiting you and backstabbing you and creating all kind of roadblocks in your way when you're trying to make life good for poor people. Imani have a lot of support down in Central Kingston, and I'm sure she's not going to walk away from the people of Central Kingston. I'm sure that many of them will be the beneficiary of some of the new things that she's going to be doing. But I just want to repeat something regarding Imani for the sake of those who probably never heard it or never watched that live. Imani was one of those candidates on the PMP ticket that got undermined and sabotaged by Rise United, by Dayton Campbell was the one who ordered, Dayton Campbell and Angela Brownberg ordered that operation against Imani Duncan Price. And it was largely successful. As I told you when I went down to Central Kingston, I met some of the runners them who make Riba and Thief in Lawrence Row trick them into handing over the PMP voters list, telling them that them people that go vote because them people that PMP, and trick them into and trick people, badmouth Imani, went all over the constituency and badmouth the woman and behaving all kind of some despicable way. One day, I hope and I pray that one day will come when I will stand up in a room and face those people and tell them and tell other people the exact things that they did. The exact things at the exact places that they did. I look forward to that day that day will come when I'll be able to do that. But Imani was the recipient of a vicious campaign against her down in Central Kingston. And it was largely led by Angela Brown-Burke. Mostly Angela Brown-Burke, supported by Dayton Campbell and Peter Murcutt Bunting. So they were there doing them shenanigans to make sure she lose. Remember, comrades, that the original plan was for authentic PMP to lose them seat so that them can push in the losers them in the rise camp. Remember that. And many people called me and text me today and asked me if I want to talk about the Imani thing and so forth. We're not going to go deep into the Imani thing. There's so much more that Imani is young, and while she has stepped away and it's final, in her own words, as she put it, I'm still hopeful that one of these days, after she has done everything else that she wants to do, after she has made a real impact on the poor people in Jamaica with that housing thing, that one of these days she'll step back into the arena and put on back those boxing gloves and box for us again. So that is that with the Imani thing. On Sunday, a thing was placed in the newspaper. I saw this notice in the newspaper, and I'm taking a chance talking about this. I don't know if I should, but I am. So anybody want to vex, can't always vex. It doesn't really matter. So I saw this thing in the newspaper on Sunday where lawyers for Mr. Kenneth Black, a.k.a. Skeng, put out kind of a public service notice. I want to share the live to the delegates, please. Put out a public service notice to say that there has been numerous people going around using Mr. Black's name to say the man is doing some kind of things, having things on a wharf, and people can call him and to get things to buy down a wharf and stuff like that, something like that. And when I read it over and over again, and we discussed it in the war room, and we're thinking to ourselves, who would do something like that? So we retrace and we check out some things and we make some calls. And we found out that the first time that this matter happened, when somebody called Mr. Black, a.k.a. Skeng, and told him that somebody tell them that him have this thing going and them can call him to get things to buy. The first name that came out was Imani. Quite coincidentally, was Imani that called Mr. Black first. I heard, and I am speaking from what I heard, that Imani was the first person to call Mr. Black and tell Mr. Black that there's something that she has to do once she hear that him have a contact and she want to do it. Now, who tell Imani to call Mr. Black? Who gave her that information is the most interesting thing. Because the person that gave Imani that information is none other than that ass rump called Peter Murcutt Bunting. Peter Murcutt Bunting calling people, set up this man to call people and tell them that he is king and him have this thing going on and down a wharf and them must come, them can check him. It's a scam and a money scam. People get lost their money in it. We also discovered. Now, last week it came up again where some guy saying that he is Kenneth Black, Skeng, called Lisa Hanna and tell Lisa Hanna that if she know anybody will need equipment to buy, she must put them on to him. Only to discover That is not Skeng. It's some other man pretending to be Skeng. So Lisa, of course, calling the number that the man called her from, thinking it's Skeng number. It's not Skeng number. But Lisa spoke to a fellow who she putting on to Skeng, thinking that is Skeng doing this thing. And then the whole thing just kind of tumbling down now. I heard from very close friends of Mr. Black that he's very disturbed by it. He's very, very disturbed by it. His own argument is that he has never had any discussions with Lisa. He has never had any discussions with anybody about anything. As far as I know, with Skeng, and I don't want to say I know Skeng, but we know Skeng, we all know Skeng. As far as I know, Skeng is an upstanding citizen and a big-time businessman operating out of Mandeville. And I don't know if Skeng doing anything illegal or untoward. I've never heard of anything like that. And when I first heard the argument, we started dig and check things out. So it came to mind, and it goes without saying, that if you have somebody using Skeng name, calling Big Natch politician, because apparently them targeting the Big Natch politician, calling Lisa and Imani Duncan, and God knows who else them call, we don't know yet, to tell them this thing and put Skeng name out there, to put the man business and him name into public disrepute. And the only conclusion I can come to is that it's Peter Murcutt Bunting doing this. That's the only conclusion I can come to. People in Mandeville, people who, and well, some of them love to say them work with Skeng, but maybe they don't work with Skeng, but some man will say them work with Skeng. People in Mandeville say, yo, Bunting a war with Skeng, beg Bunting want war with Skeng. Skeng no war with him because Bunting think that him want to have money. Bunting think that him want to build things. And everything him says Skeng do, him bad mind about it, and him want to stop the man from doing it. Him doing all kinds of things. Him put up building near the man building, and these are things that people saying. I have not been to Mandeville for the longest while. Drive through, but not have this, so I don't know. But this is information coming to me. So Bunting apparently vexed that Skeng bigger than him now. That's the only conclusion I can come to. That Skeng bigger than him now, and him like that Skeng bigger than him. So he set up this little thing where him have people call up the big man name. So let me send someone in. Sonny, you have the oil thing under control, right? Peter Murcutt Bunting, you need to leave big man alone. Because people like Skeng. People like Skeng is so much people wouldn't be calling me about it. People like Skeng and people vex that you make the man name mix up and Lisa and get involved in it and all kind of nastiness and mix up. I would know it's you. We don't have no doubt. Well, I don't have no doubt that my mind says you. So you can go file a lawsuit come tomorrow or what them did. I have no doubt in my mind says you put up that foolishness. It's you. So I'm glad that Skeng lawyers then put it out into the newspaper and clearly them handling it. I also understand from a source that Skeng also reported to Mocha and all them people there. So you know bill file from people, Bunting. People have bill file on you now. How about that? You have bill file for everybody. You have bill file from Paulwell and Daryl Vaz and all kind of people who you think in your way. No, people have bill file on you. So apart from the fact that you're deaf, people have bill file for say you got prison. Because you just can't stop. Peter Murcutt Bunting, I don't know why you can't stop. What is it with you? As a little short-ass man who just want to get into everybody's space and beat on everybody because you don't like nobody else to be successful. Well, I wish Mr. Black all kind of success. And I hope him handle your case. I would like to say to people like Imani and Lisa Anna in particular, people calling up on phone, don't verify who calling them. Verify who calling them, man. Verify the voice, verify the name, verify the whereabouts. Use some things to verify people. Don't just take people's word for it. Because if you have never had conversation, for example, with Skeng and you don't know how his voice sound, then people can always call you and put on a voice and you get tricked by it. But it's a scam. But as big people, you all should, verify these things. Check these things so that these things don't get out of control where people saying that you tell them to call people. It look bad. It really, really look bad. And me's a noise maker and a troublemaker, so me can't take up the phone and call Skank, so because I'm sure he wouldn't answer me. Because the man doing him business as far as people tell me, and the man doing him look up business and building him business and building him community. Mercat, you don't have Manchester. Not building a community, you have got building. You have build townhouse and you have build apartment complex. But you're not building people's lives, you're not building no communities. You only have build more to have more. That's all you're doing, and you're messing with somebody who building communities apart from building in business, in building communities, because I'm sure the communities all over Manchester can stand up and speak for his corporate kindness compared to yours, because he probably take his corporate responsibility more serious than you. Man, a bigger businessman than you, and you there try to tear down people. And you must stop it, Mercat. You're going deaf. If you're not fully deaf already, you're going deaf. And according to some woman, things don't, but I'm not working so well either. What are you doing? I don't understand. Man, you need to go to church. Seriously, you need to leave the politics and everything else and go to church. And I don't know within America. When we get into the main item of tonight, we'll get to sort you out again. But on behalf of the people who call in, on behalf of the people who reach out to me, I just want to let you know, Mercat, low skin, low Kenneth Black. Leave the man business alone. I want to stop our people that call up the man name and I tell lie upon the man. That's not right. Because some of my cool brethren them from down the end, they will probably know him. Tell me that, why that's not right. Them feel bad. Who want them feel bad about it? Because they don't want nothing happen to them boss. Why? It's not just a matter of a man who wants nothing happen to him boss. Boss who's a good corporate citizen. A boss who takes his corporate responsibility very, very seriously towards his community. That's how people operate. Why do you think that when Mr. Bignell was arrested for that ticket something, and why think the whole communities went up to court to support him? Because them man, they take them corporate, them community responsibility very serious in the corporate world. You don't do nothing for nobody. There's nothing down there about you that talk about you do nothing. You left how much money there that road have a spend and a call you such man. You're such a disgrace, Peter Mercat. You're a disgrace and you need to come off the scene and leave people alone, come out of people's life. I mean, when a man, just go away, man. Just go away. Disappear, man. Because all you do is causing conflict, man. Stop with the conflict, man. Please. So, that is that. Can somebody tell me if most of the delegates are on the line, yeah? On the live, yeah? Princess, $32 million for one bedroom apartment in Mandeville. I'll tell you that. And that bunting I sell apartment for. Wow, there's something else. Andrea, good to see you. I trust you had a good birthday yesterday. Yes, Michelle, people send me postcards. So, comrades, I want to get those things out of the way so that we can get to the meat of the matter of tonight's live. There is such a thing in history. There is such a thing as, or is a word, is not history. It's people just keep repeating something, like, or maybe it is, because the truth of the matter, history does repeat itself, but then history don't normally repeat itself. I mean, if you can pick the sense out of that. It doesn't repeat itself, but it does have some similarities, how history operates in life. An opposition party don't need any kind of defining to say what is an opposition party. The word opposition defines it. You're an opposition party. What does an opposition party do? You're the opposition, you oppose. In the US Congress, there are 435 congressmen and women. The last Congress before this one, Nancy Pelosi was the Speaker of the House. You had Nancy Pelosi had got 218, and the Republicans had the rest. And save for the exception of 2 Republicans, everything that the Democrats did, they oppose it. All when them vote for it, them oppose it. All when the money reach them districts, and things are going for the people who vote for them oppose it. Them oppose it by getting up and speaking about it. Them oppose it by going on Twitter and going on social media and talk crap about it. Them oppose it by going on Fox News and One American News and Newsmax and chat crap about it. Them oppose it when it comes to voting time. It get passed and the money going to them districts and them going on them districts and them chat some crap and oppose it and glad that it came to the district and boast that it come to the district. That is how opposition operate. You oppose whatever it is the government is putting forward. You oppose whatever it is them doing. If them doing something good, you oppose it. Of course you oppose it. You oppose it because it's not you putting it forward. You oppose it and you say something else that might not make any sense, but you oppose it and then you move along. Why does the Republican oppose so much? Why do they oppose everything so much? It is a simple matter. They oppose it because that is their damn job. To oppose it. To make sure the people who vote for them see them opposing it. To make sure that the people who they have to go back to ask for their vote know that they oppose that. Know that they oppose them, the gun bill. Know that they oppose the infrastructure bill. They opposed the infrastructure bill. Not one of them voted for it, except Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney, I think. I'm about 4 of them vote for it. They oppose it. Then they claim it as theirs when them go to them districts. When the Dudos thing came up, when Bruce Golding became leader of the JLP, Bruce Golding went into Parliament with one motivation. I'm going to oppose everything and talk about it and tell you how I'm going to do better and whatever it is that the PNP was proposing. And he opposed it. I remember very clearly the day when he held that press conference at the Parliament to talk about Trafigura. I remember that. He was there, salivating, surrounded by his minions, busting out the thing, going on with all kind of things about how PNP thief and corrupt. PNP thief and PNP corrupt government, rape the country, was using words like rape and assault on democracy and assault on our rights. And what? It was just going on. And for the next 2 weeks or so, they went, or not 2 weeks, probably less, they went on and on and on about the Trafigura thing. And while the PNP meeting down, I think it was Trelawney, trying to come up with a response and trying to come up with what they're going to do, Bruce was raging hell. And he sent out, everybody was just burning fire and spitting fire out there about how corrupt the PNP is for a simple thing of 30 million Jamaican dollars. Simple thing of the 30 million Jamaican dollars. A very simple thing. And they were raging about it. How corrupt the PNP is. That is what opposition does. You agree with me or not? Tell me. That's what opposition does. You oppose. That's why you name opposition. The being in opposition is the greatest learning tool for any party waiting to become government. It is the greatest learning tool, being in opposition. Because being in opposition, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. You just oppose. You oppose. You don't have the responsibility to nothing. You just oppose and let your people see that you are fight for them. Let the people who voted for you or those who you want to vote for you see that you're fighting for them. You're standing up for them. Because that's what they want to see. That's what they want to see. That you standing up for them in the face of corruption and blatant raping and thieving in the country. We, the People's National Party, have an opposition in the King Charles III Parliament. Basically, hobnobbing and sleeping with the enemy. And I know that some of them literally sleeping with the enemy. But them sleeping with the enemy in the parliament, them can't oppose nothing. But it's not them. It's not really them. It is Mark Jefferson Golding. Mark Jefferson Golding. And you delegates that elected him as party leader. And then he was elevated to leader of the opposition by acclamation from the parliamentary group. And I want to tell you this, that when you elected him as leader, most of you weren't clear as to why you're doing it. You only know you get the money, and your MP and your council saying that you must do. You not support Lisa, you not vote for Mark, and bunting money I run, and Mark money I run, and that you not do. Many people tell me that let me just do them MP. Tell them, some people say, boy, the council did say, and some people say, no, say, we did see Mark on TV, I sing the thing about Santa Claus, so we check, say, Mark would be a good thing. So people have excuses as to why they did it and elect him, and he became leader. I have reached a stage where I said, all right, I want to elect him, I want to keep him. Nobody else don't want to have nothing to do with him. But Mark Golding is the leader of the opposition in King Charles III Parliament. Why? Why can't Mark Golding oppose the government? Why? Why is he not capable to get up and stand up in the parliament and say, we're calling for the resignation of Nigel Clarke. Mr. Prime Minister, you should resign. It's one corruption after the next. Why can't Mark Golding get up in parliament and call for the resignation of the Prime Minister? Why? Why can't he? Now let us just present some cases, to you. In November, I decided to cut off a piece of my gateway out there because it's too much in the road. I want to make space for more parking and for people to be able to drive. Because everybody have 3 cars. Everybody have a good car and 2 old cars. So we have a parking space problem here in Jerusalem. So I decided to make some space. And when I cut off the side of the road, it left this big open space. So I need to get it Barber Green to match the road. So I call a contractor I know that does road patching throughout the corporate area for years. Come from a traditional family that does road patching for years. And I speaking to the guy and I said to him, say, boy, I shared him a video. So I just dig out this thing and I want you to see if you can patch this thing. And he said, Karen, you know long we don't get them patching work. So I said, what me super patching I go on throughout Kingston, so who will get them patching work there? Him say, no, so we don't know. But none of the guys that where I know, the regular people, them contractors, companies that does the usual patching, none of them not getting any work. Some say them who patching the roads. And them say them hear some rumors. The rumors on the street is that is Mrs. Holness patching the roads then? The rumor on the street is that Mrs. Holness have a plant that patch roads. And is she getting all the contract them for patch the road? Only like you have an opposition leader, you know? You have an opposition leader. Remember me telling you Bruce Golding came out in the parliament with him big file, with him file the day, full of stuff about Trafigura, a file, a thick file, full of things with Trafigura, talking about Trafigura, the $30 million. Word on the street is that Mrs. Holness is the person patching roads. And it's not one person says, a whole heap of people says so. Word on the street. Mrs. Holness is very, very involved in all the companies and all kind of things that doing a lot of road work and road patching and stuff. Opposition. Opposition. No opposition. Every minute something comes out, government this and government that. Government ministers forming them own company and giving themselves government contracts. In them company with them farm, with them and them family and them nephew and them brother and them sister-in-law. In those companies. Opposition. Opposition. No opposition. Financial sector collapse. Opposition. Mark Golding cannot oppose Andrew Holness. He can't oppose the Andrew Holness government. He can't oppose them because he must protect his class. The big man, them, the upper echelon of society that him come from. He must protect them. Him not protecting Uno. Him not business with Uno. Him know the cool of the 5,000, the 10,000, the 15,000. So him not for defend Uno. So him allow Andrew Holness to rape the country. Him allow the JP government to prostitute out the country. Them changing the police people, them uniform. And it makes me wonder, me and somebody was on the phone today, just wondering out loud, shooting the breeze. Why are they changing the uniform? I bet you any money that there is some company owned by somebody who's a relative to some minister who's going to make the new uniforms. Opposition. Opposition. Nobody knows. Some strange companies have crop up managing the road work in Portland, St. Thomas. Some people say Mrs. Holness involved in that too. A lot of people calling Mrs. Holness' name about these things. That is what them saying. Opposition. But Mark Golding cannot oppose them. He cannot oppose them because it's his class, it's his people. Can't oppose him people them. They're going to disown him if he oppose them. So when you elected him, hold on, I'm back up. When Peter Murcutt Bunting selected him, and then you, the delegates, elected him, it's not you. Him come there to represent. Him come to represent Imam Bunting. Imam Bunting buying more banks in St. Lucia, buying banks in wherever, all over the Caribbean, them buying banks and building banks and building townhouses and building apartments. Bunting having fingers in every damn pie. And Mark there getting the kickback and protecting each other. Mark Golding, Peter Bunting put him there to protect their interest. Peter Bunting put Mark Golding right there to protect their interest. You, the delegate, put him there in the hope that he would protect yours. Those two things diverge. It's not, them not in sync. Him there to protect their interest. Mark interest, Bunting interest, and all them other friends' interest. And all them people that were follow him up and down, who didn't know in that. Who didn't know that at all. That doesn't include you. You, the delegate that elected him, that doesn't include you. Him know him can use the little money will come from government to buy you out any day of the week. You licky delegate that elected him. Uno, that elected him. So him can't defend Uno. Him cannot defend Uno. him have to keep quiet and stay still and know that him have to protect his people, his society people, his class, his set of people. And Andrew Holness is having a whale of a time. A whale of a time. So Andre sent me something this morning with Cliff Hughes and some caller talking about how Andrew Holness throwing away his political capital. Well, we're not political novices. Andrew Holness not throwing away no political capital. Him can take this hit and him can take every hit that comes because him have time. Something we don't have. Andrew Holness have time. Him have time. One day in politics is a lifetime. Him can turn that around. Him have time. But that is not the part you must concern yourself with about him having time. You must concern yourself with the part that Mark Golding cannot oppose him. Mark Golding cannot get up and oppose the government because the government represents him. I will tell you from day one, so Mark Golding is a liberator. I don't believe with. Me telling you from day one, so every time I go to vote him, vote for Delroy Chuck. I am not lying to you. And in protecting, and the only reason why they're holding on to the power of the People's National Party is to give themselves that birth of power, that surge, that gives them the authority, that gives them access to some things. You know, some things that the Prime Minister have to discuss with them and things like that. So the government protecting Mark Golding and Bunting stuff, and Mark Golding and protecting for them stuff. Him can't oppose them. Somebody told me over the weekend that they said to him, man, you need to call for the resignation of the man. And him saying, can't do that. Can't call for the resignation of Andrew. Him say, Mark Golding say, him not calling for the resignation of Andrew. Because if him call for the resignation of Andrew, him alone go out there go do it, I think fall flat. That's his reading on the political landscape. That's his reading. That if him get up and call, because him can't do it convincingly, and him can't do it with no gusto. Him don't have it. Him don't have it in him to do it, to get up and call on the resignation of the Prime Minister. If it was ever Peter Phillips, it would be raining fire upon them today. People would be resigning left, right, and center, and the country would be calling for elections. Which brings us to that. UPMP delegates. When a government become unpopular so badly, it is the ripest ground for the opposition to rise up. When a government becomes unpopular is when the people start to rebel against them and then start calling for a change of government. But those things don't happen in a vacuum. Those things don't happen in a vacuum. After we lost the election in 1980, by early 1982, the people of this country start regretting it. They start talking about things like swapping black dog for monkey. Yeah. Them talk about them again start called Siaga blind aga. By 82, them start regret it. And by 83 and 84, things start step up for the PNP. By the time Michael Manley traded in the dashiki for the suit and start travel abroad, go meet up with leaders, and people start see the PNP again. Jamaican people was ready for the PNP. So by the time the local government election came in 86, it was a sweep. It was a landslide victory because the people, the opposition was vocal, was there, representing people, doing our meetings down at the Oceana Hotel, not participating in crap that them doing in Parliament, showing them up for everything that they are. We had an opposition leader who was charismatic, popular, well-known, well-respected throughout the Caribbean and the world. So by the time Siaga start looking forward and going on a grenade upon him, look at Cowboy, Escabille and come back, the country was ready, getting ready for the PNP again. So when a government start fail, the people start rebel. And in Jamaica, people don't rebel like people do in other places. Start fling stone and bust gunshot off of places and go. People don't rebel like that. People rebel quietly in their own little corner. Boy, Jano. the man them make the thing look bad. Everybody are grumble to them own self. This Jamaican public in this day, today, February 2023, this Jamaica voting public have absolutely no interest in rebelling against Andrew Holness. They have no interest in that because they have no interest in the opposition, People's National Party, and they have zero interest in the leader of the opposition of the People's National Party. So they're not rebelling. So Andrew Holness don't only have time, still have him support. Andrew Holness have a number of things going for him, even in his worst times, which are now. And those things are, one, him in government. That's the first thing. And two, I am absolutely certain, without a shadow of a doubt, that his people will come home because I'm in government. And that's reason for them to go out and vote. Because I'm in government. And they'll make the case with government. And they'll do what they need to do. And the opposition playing footsie with the government. The opposition is not opposing anything that the government does. So comrades, delegates, and PNP people, we only have one choice now, and one choice only. And that is to remove the leader of the opposition. The 14 members of parliament, in the parliament, 8 or 9 of them need to get together, tell Mark Golding that this not going to work. I'm going to tell you why I know it not going to work. I'm going to tell you tonight what we need to replace the opposition leader. No! Right now, all 14 of you, I spent the whole damn day today, yesterday, today, working on this, just to make sure that I have it written down to come out here tonight to get you. So let's start with the first member of parliament in the parliament. Anthony Hilton, member of parliament for Western St. Andrew. Anthony Hilton got, in 2016, 8,748 votes. PNP people voted for him. 8,748 people in 2016 voted for you, Anthony Hilton, in 2016. Let's see what happened in 2020. In 2020, you lost 2,550 of those persons that voted for you in 2016. So you got 6,198. So let me pause there so with you, Mr. Hilton. You have 3 divisions. Is it 3? Waterhouse, Seaview, Duane Park. 3 divisions. Since 2016, the enumeration by division, give and take a few, is about 1,800 persons per division. Since 2016, let me repeat that. Since 2016, an average of about 1,800 persons have been enumerated in each division throughout this country. 1 and 2 division have 2,000 plus, 1 and 2. But on average, 1,800 people in each division. 5,000 new people is on the voters list in Western St. Andrew as we speak. 5,000 more new people since 2016. Anthony Hilton. 6,000 people voted for you. Not the 50 delegates or the 100 delegates that selected you to be the candidate. 6,000 Jamaican people voted for you. And they voted for you to represent them the best way you know how. And right now, you are not. You sit in the parliament with an opposition leader that not speaking for them. Not speaking for them. And between your 3 divisions, you have 500 people. Now, we did a deep analysis of this whole thing. I'm going to share some of it with you because I never ready to share this information yet. I was doing that for a live. Going to do that, doing some things so Region 3 could have some information. But Region Chairman and Region 3 still not speak to me. I'm not interested in that information. I'm interested in their business and in position as Regional Chairman. So I'm going to go on and go about. So in 2016, Mr. Hilton, you had 30,000 people on your voters list. Well, a little over 30. Now you have 36. 6,198 come and voted for you. Now let me give you a scenario, Mr. Hilton. Let me give you a scenario. The JLP got 4,666, I think, 4,000 plus in 2020, and you got 6,198. So you won by 1,500 or thereabouts. If all the JLP votes that came out in 2016 had come out in 2020, you would have only won by 1,000 plus votes, maybe 1,040, 1,050 votes. You would have won. Which means for you, Mr. Hilton, and since you don't know who those 5,000 people are, none of you, not one of you, not your councillors, not you, don't know who those 5,000 new voters are. You don't. You don't because you never enumerate nobody. And you can't know. You can't go into a PMP area to verify 20 voters and then you chalk it down to be your voters because I'm in a PMP area. You know, man? You must be losing their mind. You know, it's people in Jewsland, which is largely a PMP area, by 20 to 1. You know, people go enumerate on them own and we can chart them down as PMP and then count a PMP family because we know what the political dynamic is now with new registered voters. So unless you take them up, carry them to the go get them registered, get them verified, buy them Pepsi, and get them phone number, write down everything, unless you have that, those are not yours. Not one is yours. You can't count them as yours unless you carry them, go enumerate them. We have a woman in this constituency who is one of our scrutineers, Maxine. Maxine does the verification, make sure everybody. Maxine make sure people get enumerated. But also Paula and Francie, everybody make sure people get enumerated. Then we sit on the road and see some young people when them know soon turn 18 and you hear them start them, you come here. And when I did your birthday again, Francie, she used to love do that enough. When your birthday again, the person would say, next month, okay. So the day after your birthday, come go enumerate. So we keep track of them in some way, somehow. Not so much now, but we used to. And Maxine, I remember when Maxine came to my house to start verify the ones that passed 18. Matthew, Tiffany, Brittany, Kaylee. When Maxine started coming here. And I remember the morning that Maxine came here to verify Matthew, my son Matthew. And I remember Maxine, when Matthew got downstairs and got outside, half sleeping, I'm high still. And Maxine started to have conversation. Maxine wasn't paying the labor rights and the electoral office persons any attention. Maxine was paying attention to Matthew. Maxine was engaged in conversation. Maxine was like, Matthew, what year are you again? So you're there, you know, your first year. I say, yeah. Where you do again? Yeah. And then Maxine said, when Ashley turned 18 again, and Matthew talk, oh, and KK. So KK is like a month apart. So KK. What Maxine did was establish to the labor rights and the electoral office that this is a PMP yard with PMP votes. That's what Maxine did. Basically establishing to them that a PMP yard is and a PMP votes is how we know this. How many scrutineers you have that does that? Because Maxine, Matthew on the phone. Matthew say, yeah man, give back the number. So Maxine take back a number. And every one of them that she come here for, to get them verified after we send them go get enumerated, she collect numbers from them. Because that's how scrutineers are supposed to work. Instead, the scrutineers them want to have out there just to earn them money and do them things. They're not busy with who enumerate. Them just go verify. I mean liberate and verify who they want to verify. and collect them little money. Because nobody not committed to nothing anymore. So don't bother believe, Tony Hilton, that 5,000 voters, new voters in Western St. Andrew, even know your name. Don't believe that. A few maybe, but not. So therefore, Western St. Andrew is at risk. And I am convinced that come the next election, if you, Tony Hilton, is the candidate, we're going to lose Western St. Andrew. Mark me down for that. I hope I'm wrong. Damn, I hope I'm wrong. I do hope I'm wrong. But unfortunately, numbers don't lie. This is not a PNP constituency anymore. This is a toss-up. This is a toss-up with 2 years to go for an election. This is a toss-up. And you're not likable. Nobody want you down there, nobody like you. And you sit down in the parliament as a member of parliament and not representing people, kissing Mark ass, sucking up to Mark, and not representing the 6,198 people that voted for you. I am calling on the people of Western St. Andrew, the PNP delegates them, the PNP activists them, the PNP Tegareg them, to start put pressure on Tony Hilton. For make them start get together to remove Mark as opposition leader for the survival of your own self, for your family, for your community, for your party, for your country. Call on Tony Hilton. Pressure him. Let them go sit down and tell Mark they need to go. Of all the constituencies that lost a vote, and every one of these constituencies lost a vote. Everybody. Dr. Phillips, Philip Paulwell, everybody lost votes in 2020. And I know that people want to blame COVID for everything. But I'm not one of them. I've never been one of those that blame COVID for the low voter turnout. Believe it or not, it was going to be that low no matter what you do. It was going to be. When I drove into Gregory Park after coming from Upper Dr. Guy election morning, that wasn't COVID. The crowd that wasn't COVID crowd. 1 or 2 people have had a mask yet, but it was a regular election day crowd. Very regular election day crowd. But I was trampoosing over in Portmore, over in Raymond, trying to get out some people for Raymond. It was a regular crowd. So they would have turned, it would have been that crowd. Give and take, say, the people who are sick, the old people who are sick, nobody can go for them because there was a protocol. So yes, so they would have stayed. There are those who know that they have pre-existing conditions, so they don't want to expose themselves to the thing. So they would have stayed. That's still the amount of no more than 3 or 4%. So it would have been as low as it is, no matter what you did. And you lost vote. You lost 2,500 votes, Tony Hilton. And you sit down and your ass up there, hobnobbing up to Mark. Of all the constituencies that lost more votes, Southwest St. Andrew lost the most votes, close to 4,000 votes, 3,007 mash. Let me get the exact amount. They can't even recognize more than writing. Let me get the exact amount. 3,700 votes. 3,742 votes. Southwest St. Andrew, Angela Brownburg, lost by 3,700 votes. 3,742 people that voted for Portia Simpson Miller in 2016 did not show up for Angela Brownburg in 2020. 3,742 people didn't show up. It's not nothing to do with COVID. You can say that as much as you want, but that has nothing to do with COVID. Southwest St. Andrew, pretty safe constituency based on the analysis. 3,742 didn't show up. The turnout was, low than that. But Angela Brownburg, as a person who got Portia Simpson Miller constituency and find herself in deep hot water down there, where People might quarrel with her about all kind of things. All kind of things I'm quarrel about. Now, them know how to oppose. And them will put in their parliament because them could be upper opposition. So them down there quarrel with her about things. Christmas, and a lot of other things. But the people of Southwest St. Andrew must now start put Angela Brownberg under pressure for them to get together and remove Mark Golding as leader of the opposition and put in somebody who can oppose, who can capture the imagination of the Jamaican people, who can turn this around. When government suffering this kind of backlash, this kind of loss of confidence and political capital, as Cliff Hughes put it. I mean, when government have this amount of things raining down on them, the opposition is supposed to be rolling. The opposition is supposed to be rolling. But this opposition not rolling. This opposition dead. So the people, the comrades, the delegates of Southwest St. Andrew, we need to start put Angela Brownberg under some pressure for us to get a new opposition leader. Let's move on to the next one. Comrade Fitz Jackson. Fitz Jackson and I have not always gotten along. Make fun of him and him close sometimes, but I've always liked Fitz Jackson, my stand-up guy. So Fitz, you in 2016, Fitz Jackson got 8,731 votes. In 2016, in 2020, he lost 2,379 votes. In 2020, he lost 2,373 votes. A massive turnaround from voters. Bunting had stated that the people them switch. You're a liar, Murcott. You're a damn liar. Them not switch. Them dead. Them dead. And we're coming, we're getting down to it, you know. We're getting down to it. Just be patient with me. Right? I never get to study this where I can just reel it off my tongue like I normally do. It's just today I also put it together. Fitz Jackson, 8,731 people voted for you to represent them. I want to share the life to the people them in a Fitz Jackson constituency for me. That would be what? South St. Catherine. I want to share the life to South St. Catherine. Share the life to Western St. Andrew. Share the life to Southwest St. Andrew for me, please. Share the life. Fitz Jackson, 8,000 people elected you to represent them. And they're not getting that representation. They're not getting that representation. They're not getting that representation because Mark Golding is the leader of the opposition who is not opposing. Mark Golding is the leader of the opposition of a party in opposition who is not opposing. They're not getting that representation, Fitz. And your seat, Fitz Jackson, is at risk. I have it as a at-risk seat. Let's say all the labor rights them that turn out in 2016. Let me look at how much you won by Fitz. You got 8,007 in 2016. You got in 2020 you got 6,358. That's what you got in 2020. 6,358. The labor rights got 5,506. Your numbers went down by 671, Fitz. 671. Which means that if all the labor rights had shown up, this is serious crap, you know. This is serious crap. Fitzjackson, Southern St. Catherine. If all the Laborites that voted Laborite in 2016 had shown up in 2020, Fitzjackson would have won by 155 votes. And when you hear me now, Fitzjackson, if all the Laborites that voted in 2016 had turned up in 2020, with your numbers that turned up for you in 2020, you would have won by 155 votes. That's danger. That's a danger. See, I soon get to why I want to know this. I soon get to it. That's danger. You in danger? Hilton in danger. You too. That's danger. The people of South St. Catherine must now start put pressure on Fitzjackson to get him to sit down and have Mark removed as leader of the opposition and name a new opposition leader. The people of South St. Catherine must get up, the delegates, the PNP people, and put some pressure on these people. Where's Nick? He will never lose his seat. You go on, keep it up. Keep it up. Philip Powell lost votes too, but I'm pretty much safe. Dr. Phillips lost votes too, as well. But we're not going to lose East Central St. Andrew. But if all the people that voted Laborites in 2016 had turned up, now Fitzjackson, you would have won by 181 votes. Dr. Phillips would have won by 155 votes if all the Laborites had turned up in 2016, had turned up in 2020. The people of East Central St. Andrew, Western St. Andrew, East Kingston, Kingston East and Port Royal. I don't want to get no words with God 2 hours about this Kingston East foolishness. Kingston East and Port Royal, South St. Catherine, Western St. Andrew, East Central St. Andrew, South West St. Andrew. The delegates, I'm calling on the delegates and the people of these constituencies to put some pressure on your members of parliament to remove Mark Golding as leader of the opposition. Peter Phillips, Tony Hilton, Fitzjackson, Philip Powell, Angela Brown-Burke, who have tried to, we're not getting into that tonight. Now, in 2020, without anybody asking me to, I went out to Central St. Mary to give Dr. Guy a hand. I went because families and friends keep telling me that Dr. Guy I gonna lose. So I'm going to go out there. And Dr. Guy never lose. In 2016, Laborites got 6,161 votes in Dr. Guy constituency. And Dr. Guy got over 8,000 votes. In 2020, Laborites get 5,700 votes. And Dr. Guy gets 6,183 votes. I hope I have this right. And Dr. Guy lost votes, 1,800 or thereabouts. Votes. Dr. Guy lost. Dr. Guy, Dr. Maurice Guy. Now, Dr. Guy, if all the Laborites that voted in 2016 had turned up to vote in 2020, I want you to hear me, Dr. Guy. I want you to listen to me very, very careful, Dr. Guy. You, of all persons, I want you to hear me properly. I want the people of Central St. Mary to hear me. If all the Laborites that voted Laborite in 2016 had turned up in 2020 and voted the same way they voted in 2016, Dr. Guy, you would have won your seat by 22 votes. So when people that sound the alarm that Dr. Guy's seat are going to lose and Dr. Guy will lose, it wasn't an alarm. It wasn't an alarm. They were sounding, like it was an alarm. But it was real. It was real, Dr. Guy. You know I love you, Dr. Guy. You know I love you. Defend you to the max. If that boy knew will ever try not to come down to come build a stone heap and stone him. But Dr. Guy, if the Labourites had turned up, the Labourites had voted in 2016, and they turned up in 2020 and voted the same way that they voted in 2016, and you maintain that average that number that you got without the PNP people, you would have won your seat by 22 votes. You probably would have gone to court and lose the damn seat afterwards. The people of Central St. Mary need to call upon Dr. Guy. Call upon Dr. Guy. Pressure Dr. Guy. Go visit Dr. Guy. Visit Tony Hilton. Visit them. Fitz Jackson. Visit and make them know that they have to remove Mark Golding as leader of the opposition. I didn't ask them for delegates to move him as a party leader because stay for all I care. Dr. Guy. Now Lisa Hanna. Southeast St. Anne. We all know how that came out. And we're not about to talk about, we're not about to go through back the whole thing about the sabotage, the undermining, the thieving councillors, the pussy feelings from the wannabe done. All of them go through ugly Lydia and ugly Bella, and all of them put Lisa Hanna through, or Bunting and Garnet Roper and Asamba and Angela and Paul them go down there, go keep meeting up and meeting up and meeting a plot how to lose the PNP seat. Well, I'm going to go through it again. Just want to repeat that for Uno. Because Lisa won the seat by 31. With all the Labourites them turn up and she won the seat by 31. Now, I want to point something out to you about Southeast St. Anne. And I want to point something out to Dr. Guy as well and Fitz Jackson. I don't know, I don't have it with me right now in front of me, Fitz Jackson, as how many council seats you have. But you see those council seats that you have, if you check how many people have been enumerated since 2016 in each of those seats, you're going to find an average of 1,600 people that have been enumerated. And let me repeat, unless you have the list in our book with phone number that you took, that your people took to get enumerated, buy them Pepsi, buy them lunch, give them $200, come fill them in them yard, carry them out enumerated, drop them back in them yard. Unless you did that, none of them is yours. Not one. You can't count vote that you didn't work for. No matter which yard them come out of, no matter which area them enumerate from, they are not yours unless you carry them, go get them enumerated. They only become mine when we drape up the little fellow who is 80. That's something that tells me, go get enumerated. Worms, the money, he said it there, so boss here, go on. Now, in my mind, and me give money for the enumerator when he come back, me take the damn paper from him. Me in charge of him. So unless you do that, you're in charge of nobody that got enumerated, and you don't know who those people are. None of you. Not your councillor candidates, nor you. None of you know who those people are. Because you're busy holding the corner with Mark Golding, hobnobbing with Mark Golding. The people of Central St. Mary, Western St. Andrew, Southwest St. Andrew, Kingston East and Port Royal, East Central St. Andrew, Southern St. Catherine, we need to start pressure on the members of Parliament to remove Mark as leader of the opposition. No! And the people of Southeast St. Anne need to start put some pressure on Lisa Hanna to get together people and remove Mark as leader of the opposition. The people of Bensonton, people of St. Anne, wherever. I'm not going to Bensonton because Lydia wants to sue me. Anyway, you must get together and tell Lisa Hanna, say, you don't want Mark removed as leader of the opposition because you would like to see PNP in power again before you're dead. Andrew Owen is raping the country, destroying the very... Nothing is going to leave. And Mark Golding cannot oppose him because Mark Golding have to protect him class. He have to protect feed people them. And feed people them is not Uno. Never was Uno. Let's move to the next one. Natalie Nita Garvey. Sorry, I keep putting Natalie Nita, but not Garvey, you know. Laborites got 5,491 votes in 2016. You got 6,798. And that number, that vote turnout in 2016 prompted everybody to start saying that Natalie can lose her seat, and Natalie a KD seat. That Natalie can lose her seat because Laborites get 5,000, almost 5,500 votes. Natalie get barely 1,200 more votes than the Laborites. And in 2020, the Laborites number went down. Let me make sure I have this right. The Laborites, them get 4,351. And Natalie, you got 5,715. Now, there's an interesting thing about that number that I was saying today. An interesting thing about the 5,715 votes, Natalie. You know what's interesting about that vote, Natalie? What's interesting about that 5,715 vote to 5,491 vote, and then back again in 2020, you come and you get back that 5,017 votes and 5,715 votes again. You lost 2,900 votes, Natalie. 2,900 votes. Second highest amount of votes lost in a PNP constituency. First highest being Southwest St. Andrew. And you are the second. Yeah, you are the second highest. Had all the Laborites come out to vote, Natalie, I'm not doing this with any angst, you know. Not doing this with any angst and any hatred or any vitriol. No matter how you see I'm doing it. It's just passion. It's very interesting about that 5,715 votes. It's the exact same amount of votes. So had the Laborites come out in 2016 like they did, in 2020 like they did in 2016, you would have won by no more than 242 votes, Natalie. You would have won by no more than 242 votes. Had the Laborites come out like they did in 2016, because your vote remained the same in 2020. It didn't change. Nothing changed. And when you think about that seriously, think about that seriously. The people of North Central St. Catherine. Is it North Central? Natalie is North Central? Is it really? Really? The people of North Central St. Catherine, the comrades, the PNP delegates, we need to start pressure Natalie Nita Garvey. We need to go look for her, anywhere to see her, and make her know someone want her to get busy, to remove Mark as leader of the opposition. The comrades of North Central St. Catherine, I want her to get busy. Tell Natalie Nita Garvey that you don't want her to get busy to remove Mark Golding as leader of the opposition. For your sake. For your sake. Let's go again. Julian Robinson. Now, Julian's seat has always been a touch and go seat. It always was. And I don't even know why it always was, but it always has been a touch and go seat. And he has done a fairly good job of building it and holding on to it. So I'm looking at the Laborites number in Southeast St. Andrew. 3,800 in 2016 compared to Julian 5,800. So Julian, was winning by 2,000 votes and thereabout. And then in 2020, I really must do a better job of this in terms of doing this. I need a secretary. I need a secretary. Then in 2020, the Laborites got 3,266. So they fell short by about 600 votes. But you fell short, Julian, by over 1,500 votes. I hope I'm reading this thing right. Yep, I am. You fell short, Julian Robinson, by 1,500 votes. Left you. 1,000, 1,500, 100 and 1,000, call it 1,400 votes. You fell short. Now, had the Laborites them turn out in 2020, that the way they turned out in 2016, had they turned out, Julian, you would have won by 706 votes. So you're still at risk. You're still at risk, Julian. I mean, you notice how I'm beating up on the other things, but I'm going to get there. But the people of Southeast St. Andrew, who have bought into the whole Mark Golding thing, most of them, bought into the whole Mark Golding thing. Mark Golding don't represent UNO. Mark Golding represent UPSO. Now down so. Mark Golding not opposing nothing from Andrew Holness. Mark Golding not protecting you in protecting him and Peter Bunting. I don't need to start. Put some pressure on Julian Robinson. Put some pressure on Julian Robinson for him to get together with other people and remove Mark Golding as leader of the opposition. When they tag the people them in Southeast St. Andrew, let them get this. We soon get past this boring part of it, because I know we don't like the boring part of it. But we're going to get past it. It's very important. I wouldn't have taken the time out to get it done. I wouldn't have done it if I didn't thought it was important for you to know these things on the delegates of the People's National Party. Michael Phillips, if Laborites had turned out the way that they turned out in 2016, in 2020, you would have won by 224 votes, because you decrease your votes by 2,000 plus, and you're walking around behaving as if you think you have it pat. You don't have it pat. Southeast St. Andrew is at risk. I don't say Northwest Manchester being at risk, but the people of Northwest Manchester, we must start hassle Peter Phillips' son, Michael Phillips. We must start hassle him everywhere we go. We must hackle him body and hassle him. Tell him that we don't want to be in power. Tell him that we don't want PNP to win. Tell him that we don't want PNP to rise again. Tell him so we want him to get busy to remove Mark Golding as leader of the opposition. We don't need to tell him. Sorry, comrades, this damn thing falling apart because I'm knocking it down. It's my fault. We don't need to tell him. Tell him that we don't want him to get busy because we don't want PNP to get back. Just want PNP on the board. Just want someone little score on the board for PNP. PNP not even dip on the board. The name of the PNP didn't dip on the board. Much just to get a score. Comrade Dennis Daly, Eastern St. Catherine. Comrade Daly, you lost 2,400 votes in 2020. 2,400. People that show up for you in 2020, 5,454. The people that show up for you in 2016, let me find that, was 5,000, oh my God, was 5,000, 7,000, 8, almost 8,000 people show up for you in 2016. Barely 5,000 show up for you in 2020. But talk about the COVID thing, it was not COVID nothing. Trust me, it was not COVID anything. But you can always hide yourself in that. It's a good place to hide. COVID is a good place to hide. And the Laborites them shown up to vote. When you hear me good in a Dennis Daly, and the people of the constituency name, I'm never ever good at this. of Eastern St. Catherine, had Labour Right shown up to vote in 2016, they showed up to vote in 2016, and they showed up in 2020 in the same numbers that they showed up in 2016. Comrade Dennis Daly, you know how much you'd have win by? Do you know how much you'd have win by if they had shown up? You would have won by 99 votes. With this turnout and this number, you would have won by 99 votes. You'd be sweating that night. And if it was a good candidate like Dabdu, we'll probably carry go to court and win too, because the spoiled ballots alone in that constituency could have turned that around. The people of Eastern St. Catherine must start look for Comrade Denise Daly and tell her that they want Mark Golding removed. They want a new leader of the opposition who will start put some pressure upon these people. Stop making them sit down in the world and feather them own nest and count the days as to when each of them going to be leader, because everybody going to be leader one time. Everybody going to be leader. Yes, Michelle, I was just going to correct myself. Yes, I was just going to correct myself. Denise, Michael like to think that him is a safe seat in Northwest Manchester. It's not. You could have lost your seat in 2020 if there was a real effort from the Labour Rights. Michael could have lost. Denise too would have lost if the Labour Rights might put out some real effort for you. Me calmly, as calm as I possibly can, and calmly just outline it for you all so we can see it in plain sight. I don't have to take my word for it. We can't get to no genius them to do the one analysis for you. I mean, you don't have to listen to me. Eastern St. Catherine. I'm going to tag some people at Eastern St. Catherine if you know who they are. Mark Golding lost 1,500 votes. Yes. I make up him nice for Peter Phillips and everybody, and he lost 1,500 votes. Lothian Cousins lost 678 votes. I figure those are 678 people from that Butch have that never know with Lothian Cousins. The people of Southwest Clarendon. So I keep South St. Andrew for the last. You, Graham, if Labour Rights had shown up in 2020, you would have lose the PMP seat. Now answer that. I tell you that. Had Labour Rights shown up in 2016, you, Graham, would have lost the PMP seat. He lost 1,733 voter decrease of that. And Labour Rights increased. My God, Labour Rights increased your number. Had Labour Rights shown up in Northwest St. Catherine, Bobby Pickersgill seat would not be there anymore. You, Graham, would have lost. Seat would have lost, would have gone. And you'd have lost it by 700 votes, or thereabouts. Had Labour Rights shown up, you'd have lost it by 700 votes. Denise Daly would have lost if Labour Rights had shown up. And Michael Phillips was at risk of losing if Labour Rights showed up. I told you this already, I'm going to repeat this to you again. In 2016, every garrison in this country, and I'm trying to make the point here because I was studying Western Westmoreland at the time. And Maureen Webber did ask me to look at Western Westmoreland. And I said to her before the election, Wickham look like him can lose the seat. I mean, I know how many people was there today who tell me, say, every time I go to Westmoreland, I'll make this drink rum, so I come back with that foolishness. I said, Wickham look like him going to lose the seat. And Weber say, I just want to say, the thing crosses tell me that they believe. And then in 20, and then them ask me, how did I come to that conclusion? And you look at it. There was a trend from 2011 when Wickham seat. But here what happened in 2016 that really pushed it now, because these things don't happen one time, it's over a period of time that they happen. So I'm telling Denise and Natalie and Hugh Graham, it's over a period, Mikhail, it's a period of time that these things take before it topple it, Of all the garrisons in Jamaica, PNP and JLP garrison, every garrison had a turnout of over 40%. Every single garrison, PNP garrison, Labour garrison in 2016 had a turnout of over 40%, except Wickham McNeil, except Western Westmoreland. The only garrison that had a turnout of less than 40%. And we came to the conclusion, we're going to lose the seat. We never expect it could be as bad as it is, but we're going to lose the seat. So these things happen over a period of time. So let me just start again. Tony Hilton, Peter Phillips, Fitz Jackson, Philip Palwell, Maurice Guy, Lisa Hanna, Natalie Nita, Julian Robinson, Mikhail Phillips, Denise Daly, Angela Brown Burke, Lothian Cousins, Hugh Graham. It's time to get together and do what the people elect you to do. People elect you to represent them. We need to get together and remove Mark Golding as leader of the opposition. Appoint a leader of the opposition and get the PNP wheels turning. I said, history is going to treat you that way, mark my words. But telling you, it's only the good die young. And I'm neither good nor young. So I'm going to dare to witness it. How God will beat you, how history will treat you. Because I want to deal with the People's National Party and the people who elected you. Now I want to bring it to the most jarring part of all of this analysis. The most jarring section of this analysis. It's a simple one. If Peter Phillips had 34% in the polls, 34%, and this is what on the turn up, they only think Mark will carry the through. How much I want to think you can survive 18% going to the next election? How many of you believe you can survive going into an election with these numbers? With Mark Golding as the leader of the opposition? Seriously. I want you all to know, every division in your constituency, every division has a round figure, an average of 1,500 or 1,600 new people, none of which you enumerated personally. None. Because we stuck to them things a long time. None. But I'm going to drop an next bomb now. Look at that voters list. Take a good look. The next time when you talk about that voters list, electoral office, say no, take a good look at it. And I take a good look at it because I have the information as to where those voters are, what PD they are in. Every single one of the divisions. 1,500 votes. Duty Park, Seaview, Almantown, Trafalgar. Everywhere an average of 1,500-1,600 people by PD. I'll drop that bomb on here. It's very jarring. Very, very jarring to look at these numbers and look at Uno sitting down in King Charles III Parliament playing footsie with Mark Golding while Andrew Owl is busy raping and thieving. Well, not Andrew Owl per se, but in government. Country The country going down. Gone down deep. And Andrew Holness don't even look like him worried about it. Why should he? If I was him, I wouldn't be worried. I'd be drinking. Because him know that Mark Golding cannot oppose him. Him know that Mark Golding will not open him mouth and tell him he need to go in yard, him need to resign because him presiding over a government of thieves and criminals. Mark Golding not going to get up and tell him that. Peter Phillips should get up and tell him that. Nigel Clark will be trembling in his boots if Peter Phillips was the leader of the opposition. Nigel Clark will be hiding, quite frankly. Because, believe it or not, Nigel Clark, Zalko Shata's black man, Peter Phillips is a big, tall, round man. Peter Phillips talk to him, that run guide. Mark Golding can't talk to him because Mark Golding will protect his class, his kin. And all of you there, all 14 of you, all 14 of you, nearly 83,000 people combined voted for the 14 of you. 83,000 Jamaicans came out combined for these 14 seats and voted for the 14 of you. Almost 30,000 more than the GLP got. The 14 of you brought out 83,000 Jamaicans to vote for you. 30,000 more that voted for the GLP. I want to sit down think on the easy street, believing that you don't have no responsibility to people who vote for you. The people who have kissed them teeth off for you. When I went into Western St. Andrew and I come right here, so I down there, she called me on the phone, "Come here, say you don't have I said, yes. I pay touch people, I said, them want hear from because them vote. People, Mr. Hilton, when he first came here, it was alright, but no, son. Not going out to vote for that man again. If Hilton is the candidate in the next election for Western St. Andrew, I'm going to lose. Dennis Daly is possibly going to lose too. Possibly Natalie, Nita, Dr. Guy. I'm going to come back and help you, Dr. Guy, no matter what, I'm going to help you. But you depend on the same trajectory that Wicker McNeil was on. It's the same trajectory you depend. You can't see past on the nose. Comrades, we need a new leader of the opposition. Nobody that asks you to run remark as leader, party leader. We don't do any man that. But we need a new leader of the opposition. Somebody who can stand up to the government. Somebody with integrity and gravitas. Somebody with respect and adoration and admiration. Who will lead the opposition against this GLP, this wicked, heartless GLP government. That is not being held to account by civil society, by the business. Everybody in bed with them, you know. The business people in bed with them, civil society in bed with them. Me no hear all them loudmouth red woman that we used to have all kind of organization that breed down portion, they kind of breed down PG neck. Me no see none of them, me no hear none of them the one get pay off and gone on them yard. You don't hear them talk about the integrity anymore. You don't hear Trevor Monroe him and walk me out of chat shit because of course them pay him after every now and then him come out with a flimsy statement for me make it look so bad because him thinks that the whole way above him. Not him everybody get taken care of. And that leaves the opposition. So therefore, if everybody in civil society and all the rest of them and the business people have been taken care of and they're afraid they're not going to get up and stand up against Andrew Holness. And you, the opposition bench in the parliament, not doing that either, then you left no choice for us humble and simple Jamaicans must to assume that the whole only get paid after. So you don't represent the PNP anymore, represent yourself. You don't need for fucking... Please forgive my language. Please forgive me. That I never meant that. Never meant that. I apologize. You don't need to get it together. You don't need to get it together. Because Mark Golding now cut it. He can't cut it. He will never, ever cut it. Mark Golding on a Tony Spalding constituency going to lose 1,500 votes. What the hell ever hear that people lose 1,500 votes out of Tony Spalding constituency? How the hell did that happen? 1,500 people don't show up come vote. After them vote in 2016, they don't come vote at 2020. For the big white man, well, Omar Davis bring and carry and give him Tony Spalding seat. and 1,500 people decide that they may come out, come vote for him? How that happen? Does he care? I doubt that seriously. Is he worried? Don't look that way to me. But him down there, as the member of parliament, in a Tony Spalding seat, and him not care about nothing but himself. I'm protecting people them up so. Bunting have him on a straight and narrow path. Remember, Mark, you are here to protect us, to make sure we make more money, build more bank, build more townhouses, build more apartment, have more money with a business, and then we left it, mash it up, give them. Because that's Bunting plan from day one. And Uno 14, that 83,000 Jamaican people came out and voted for. Uno sit down there with him and watching the country burn. I wonder, sometimes I wish Jamaica was like Liberia or Kenya or one of them places. People just rise up and start just look for the whole of Uno. And I'm not promoting any violence, but sometimes I wish that. Uno too easy. Uno sit down there and not holding the government accountable. It's a simple task gonna have to oppose. Oppose. That's all. No opposition. And that's what opposition do. Oppose. Mark is a retard for true. Can't help himself. I don't come here to beat him up. I don't come here to beat him up. I come here to tell you guys, the members of parliament, the 14 of you, that 83,000 Jamaican people voted for, to tell you that you have a responsibility to the country. The 83,000 people that voted for you, the 14 of you have a responsibility to them. You have a responsibility to the PNP people who go bring out people to vote for you. You have a responsibility to everybody that call themselves PNP to go there and hold the Andrew Holness government accountable, to remove Mark Golding as leader of the opposition and the people in these constituencies, the comrades in Western St. Andrew, East Central St. Andrew, South St. Catherine, Kingston East and Port Royal, St. Mary in Central St. Mary, Eastern, Southeast. What else am I doing? I need to call upon the people them. Comrades, I need to call up the MPs them. Call up Natalie Nita. Call up Philip Palwell. Call up Peter Phillips. Call up Julian Robinson. Call up Natalie. Call up Dennis Daly. Call up Lothian Cousins. Call up Hugh Graham. Fitz Jackson. Maurice Guy. Lisa Hanna. Angela Brownberg. Call them up. Put them under some pressure. It's only who can do it, you know. It's only who can do it. Me, you can just come here and tell you how things are. Can not else but just say to us, boy, this is how things are. We need to change the trajectory of this thing. And that's all I have to say to you tonight. And I need to change the leader of the opposition. We need a new leader of the opposition. And we're going to start take some new actions. But only in the communities and the constituencies, we have to take some action too. We have to start putting the members of parliament on notice. We need to tell them. Tell Dr. Guy. Tell Natalie Nita. Tell Dennis Daly. Tell Fitz Jackson. Tell Lisa Anna. Tell Lothian Cousin. Tell Hugh Graham. Tell Angela Brownberg. Tell Tony Hilton. Tell Palwell. Tell Julian. Tell Peter Phillips. Tell them. So we want a new opposition leader. Somebody who can stand up to this government. This is ridiculous. Tell me, all of you support Mark Golding. You don't think this is ridiculous? You don't think if we were we were in government, the JLP wouldn't be out there raging and going on, opposing as they should. You don't think that? I cannot recall a time during PG and Portia time in government that them not get up every week with some issue. When them a rage about and the news media follow them up about and everybody in Jamaica talk about. And them raging and getting results and people have resigned and people have to be removed and all the rest of it. Paul will know that all too well. Fitz know that. The whole of them know that. Why want to sit there? What argument can you give to the Jamaican people, the 83,000 people that voted for the 14 of you? What argument can you possibly give them as to why you sit there without a leader of the opposition leading the opposition? What could you possibly tell them? Don't tell me nothing. But what could you tell them, the people of this country, that the leader of the opposition is not opposing and him not leading the opposition, him representing himself, in class, for him crew of people, the higher echelon of society. He's representing them. Him not representing you who voted for him to be leader, and then all of you who sit down there and selected him to be opposition leader. Oh, not tell people these things. Explain to people why. Because it is baffling to most Jamaicans, sane and unsane. Sane and insane. Sane and insane. It is baffling as to how to sit down there and allow this man to be the leader of the opposition that is not leading nor opposing. And everyone who sit down there want to be leader. Everybody want to be leader. I'm telling me, I want to know, say, by motor goat mouth, This is going to end badly for all of you. If you don't move this man, it's going to end badly. All of you, it's going to end badly for. You have one final opportunity, and that one final opportunity is to remove Mark as the leader of the opposition. Not busy with him stay as a party leader until him delegate them and him meet. But for now, we don't need a leader of the opposition. Somebody who's going to take the bull by the horn and ride that horse, no matter what. Somebody who's going to say, time for this foolishness to end. It's time for this to end. It's time. It's full time. It's 2 years plus. And can't get it going. What else do you need? This whole argument about the leader, every leader must face the electorate. Stop with the damn foolishness. Stop it. If Uno go into the electorate with these numbers, Uno want to go to the electorate with Mark Golding leading, well, how much you think will come out of this? The 14 of you. How many of you think are going to come out of this if Mark Golding leading into the next election? How many of you will come out smelling like roses? How many? Barely 4 or 5. Barely 4 or 5. Me not ask you that. Me not tell you that. Numbers don't lie. And where the Jamaican people is going don't lie. You don't practice psychology in politics, But worldwide, psychology is now involved in politics. Worldwide. Remember, say, Andrew Holness won the 2016 election with a clerks and green clerks. And that winning election are damn green clerks. Fool and up a whole heap of people who graduate from high school, reading at grade 7 level. All of those who vote for him graduate from high school, reading at grade 7 level. And some of them still can't read, but them graduate. The dunce them that will graduate out of high school voted for him for a green clerks. You don't think people are come vote for Mark Golding with the ad for them head of Mark Golding as if he needed to remind him who he is? Huh? When you think anybody coming out to vote for him or coming out to vote for Uno with him leading it? The man is smart. So it's Lisa Anna. There's someone to ask Doc. But what the heck? We have so much numbers. We have numbers all the way up to Shazoo. To show them, to talk to them about. Wanted to talk to Region 3 about it, but as I said, the Region 3 man still behaving like a big girl, so Bex. Some people tell me to tell Dayton Campbell that don't try coming to Region 3 about your look to see. Nobody go down at Central Kingston. Because people got bills too deep down the phone. America know him can't show him face in a Region 3. America show him face in a Region 3. And me and him and him security. You see that the woman security? America? Me and you and she. Come here, Region 3 boy, you come look to see. Me and you. And she. I know you love that. But don't bother with it. No, don't bother with it. But I want to come look Central Kingston. All of the losers will lose PNP seat. I'm not come about the Central Kingston seat. Because when you lose PNP good seat, nobody don't want to lose as represent them. So, stay over there. No matter what. Don't try it. So, that's it. What a call it tonight. I mean, could go on and on and on. One of these nights, when I feel the vibes, I will do future lives and go by division because with a lack of group support to do what groups supposed to do at the constituents and divisional levels, the only thing we have now are divisions because groups not cut it no more. Groups are just bogus people who are paid to vote and voting time come. The work that needs to be done has to be done now from the divisional levels. And that is why we're taking all this time. I am taking all this time to go through all these things, to go on road, go get all this information to share with them. For no particular reason or cost. But because I love my party, I'm not a member of anymore, but I still love the People's National Party. And we're going to talk about the councillors, councillor candidates. Oh, them is going to hear it when we're done. And the numbers. The numbers we'll go by, PD by PD, Yeah. Yes, Natalie. I know how many people enumerating every one of your PD. The Labour PD and the PNP PD and the no PPDs. Yes, Denise. Yes, Fitz. Oh, yes, Julian. We have them. Tony Hilton. We do know. People has been enumerated. We work it out. We deal with it. It's hard work. And I don't want to do it. So I'm heading out in the departure lounge soon. If I don't change Mark Golding as leader of the opposition. Thank you all for watching. Is anybody say Fiona, Fifi? Fiona, is she on the live? Did she do a check-in? Huh? Fiona did do a check-in? No? Okay. So now, where is Sonny? Where is Sonny? Natalie? Where's Natalie? Natalie? PNP resistance for life, princess. That's for true. That's for true. That's for true. Where's Natalie? Where is Natalie? Marva Stewart. Over Marva. Thank you, ladies. Thank you very much. I'm looking for Sonny. I wanted to bring her on for 3 minutes. That's right. Mark can't run up. Thank you, Pastor Naval. Mark can't run opposition, him can't run government. That's true. That's true. It's funny, but it's true. Let me drink my wine. Alright, I'm now wait for Natalie, so I don't know. So comrades, thank you for joining me. This is has been very kinda Mark is a clown indeed. And we're going to ramp it up on them. We're going to ramp it up over the next coming weeks. And when I know that we're not afraid for 5-6 away, go down and the leader of the opposition office go call for him to be removed. So we're not afraid. So Dayton can just look out for the 6 away again. So that is that. We love our party and we want to keep on doing what we're doing. Comrades, thank you for watching. God bless you. Keep safe and keep your children safe, and I'll see you again soon. We'll do this again next time. Thanks.